So there's a question here. Will the Ten Commandments go up in every public classroom in Texas or not? That's up to a federal judge who's hearing arguments in a case that challenges the Texas law requiring the Ten Commandments to be up in every classroom. Avery Everett has been sitting in the courtroom for hours, and she joins us now live. Avery, tell us, where does this stand right now?
Well, the plan was to close evidence by the end of the day today. But even after we heard hours of arguments, there's still more conversation to be had. And that's why the court is going to come back on Monday to finish this discussion. So the goal to get this all done today was because there's a deadline quickly approaching. I mean, this law is slated to take effect on September 1st, and it would require that all public school classrooms have the Ten Commandments posted. So I want to break down what we heard from both sides today. So we know that more than a dozen families filed a lawsuit earlier this summer against 11 school districts in the state of Texas. Attorneys representing those families argued this law violates the First Amendment. Now, they say this version of the Ten Commandments to be posted through this law is a Protestant version that is different from the Jewish or Catholic version. They also say the government can't show preference for one religious establishment over another. And they also argue parents should be the ones instilling religious practices and not schools. The defense representing those 11 districts argues the Ten Commandments are a part of United States history. They say the version to be posted in classrooms was put together by a committee that represented people from all backgrounds. And they also argue this version to be displayed is posted at the Texas state capitol. So I do want to emphasize that whatever comes out of this hearing, the decision will only impact the school districts that are listed in the lawsuit. But the plaintiffs do hope that if a federal judge decides on a ruling, that other school districts in the state will follow suit. As far as the timeline of a ruling after Monday, we don't know yet. The judge said he will come up with a ruling, but it'll happen before September 1st. Reporting live, I'm Avery Everett, KSAT 12 News.
All right, Avery, and thank you so much for that. So some of you had a burst of rain earlier today. Now let's go to meteorologist Adam Caskey. So is that out of the way, Adam? What's the deal with that? Yeah, so we're just trying to see, because I'm looking out there, 95 degrees. It looks like there's some stuff on the radar now. But yeah, are we getting some of that now?
You know, we're not getting any of it right now because we stabilized our atmosphere a little bit from the downpours that we had earlier. And the satellite and radar shows it fairly perfectly here. You see how the clouds scatter out? That's because these thunderstorms drop cold air that spreads out, and then that even prevents new clouds, pop-up puffy clouds, from developing. And remember, you need those puffy clouds to turn into showers and storms. Now, we could still destabilize a little bit more over the next couple of hours and maybe see one or two more pop-up showers. But I think most of our rain is going to be coming later on tonight and for the first part of our Saturday. Notice these rain chances, 20% 9 p.m. By 1 a.m. we're up to 40%, and then we're at 50% coverage around south central Texas from about 2, 3 a.m. all the way through sunrise tomorrow. And then some changes into Sunday. We'll talk about how much rain we could see in just a bit.
All right, and thank you for that. You know, now is as good a time as any to download the KSAT Weather Authority app. It's free. It's also the easiest way for you to get the latest weather warnings and alerts. Now, we want to go back outside, Adam, and let's give you a live look at the traffic situation right now. That's 281 at St. Mary's, where it looks like, yeah, there is some activity there. Obviously, it's rush hour, 5 o'clock, but nothing to be concerned about because traffic is flowing very smoothly at this hour. Now to a story that we've been following closely. An arrest has been made in connection to the deadly shooting of an SAISD student. So the man that you see right here, this is 18-year-old Fernando Flores. He's been charged with capital murder, but the search for those responsible doesn't end here because SAPD say that they're still looking for 2 more people. On a Facebook post, police say that they're looking for 20-year-old Cesar Tijerina. And there's someone else, but they didn't identify that person because of their age. 14-year-old Simon Cuevas was killed back in April. He was shot near Brewer Academy, and surveillance video showed a group of 5 people following Cuevas as he was leaving school. In Flores' arrest affidavit, witnesses told police that several people attacked Cuevas before one of them pulled out a gun and shot him. Everyone then ran away. Police say that the suspects worked together to plan their attack. Today, SAISD releasing a statement to KSAT regarding Flores' arrest, where they said in part, quote, "We are grateful to law enforcement for their pursuit of justice in this case," end quote. Anybody with information that can lead to the arrest of the other 2 suspects is asked to call SAPD. Thieves took some $20,000 worth of merchandise at a store in Pleasanton. It happened at Hibbett Sports. When Pleasanton police got there, they noticed that the store's back panels were cut open, and they identified the suspect's vehicle, so that's something. Investigators traced one of those cars then back to Houston, and they say that when authorities went to a home and tried to execute a search warrant, they got into a standoff. And when that ended, police arrested 2 people, but they're still looking for 2 others. New at 5, Governor Greg Abbott wants state lawmakers to stay in Austin. He is asking for a second special legislative session. The governor said that this next session is going to focus on 19 items. At least 5 of them are aimed at helping Hill Country flood victims and also planning for future natural disasters. In a new release, he called out House Democrats for leaving the state to avoid a redistricting vote. In a statement, the governor said in part, quote, "Democrats refuse to show up for work. We will not back down from this fight. That's why I am calling them back today to finish the job. I will continue to use all necessary tools to ensure that Texas delivers results for Texans," end quote. Yesterday, Democrats said that they plan to return to Austin today. So staying with the governor, he, along with Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick and Speaker Dustin Burrows, met with parents of the Camp Mystic victims who died in last month's Hill Country flooding. The families also met with other state lawmakers. They shared stories and also told them that they want an investigation into what happened. They also want youth camp safety reform. According to a news release, a spokesperson for the Campaign for Camp Safety said in part, quote, "We are here to make sure that no other parent in Texas gets that phone call, the one that changes everything, but that could have been prevented," end quote. That brings us to next Monday, August 18th. The Together for Texas concert is happening. It's going to be at the Tobin Center. All proceeds go to local flood relief efforts. Tickets start at $35. If you can't go, you can catch the concert live on KSAT 12 and also the free KSAT Plus app. Making headlines today, President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin meeting in Anchorage, Alaska. Their conversation is aimed at finding a path to peace in Ukraine. The president previously gave the meeting a 25% chance of ending in failure. However, some experts do believe that Putin is ready to make a deal.
He really wants this meeting. He has been ostracized. You know, he's a pariah. Putin wants to show his countrymen, he wants to show Russians that he's actually not a pariah, that he can meet with President Trump.
The president has said that this is the first of 2 planned meetings with Putin. He says that if all goes well, he might stay in Alaska and also invite President Volodymyr Zelensky to the table.
When we've approached this, we've done it prudently. We've done it to seek a fair deal that protects local taxpayers. And we also done it to achieve the great aspirations that we have for our downtown that we enjoy as local residents.
Hey, remember him? Familiar face in San Antonio, weighing in on the ongoing discussions between city leaders and the Spurs for a new downtown arena. Former Mayor Ron Nirenberg sat down with our RJ Marquez and said that the council is doing its due diligence for a deal that benefits everyone. Coming up at 6, you're going to hear what else the former mayor said about how the arena, who pays for it, and whether he's afraid that the Spurs will leave San Antonio if they don't get a new stadium. This week on Pickup Lines, our Ernie Zuniga is sitting down with a local leader who has made a career out of selling cars. For the last quarter century, Jose Luis Contreras has been working his way up to the current role of general manager. He oversees 3 dealerships, including one down at the Valley. Jose grew up near Jefferson High School, but ultimately went to Central Catholic and then the University of Notre Dame for college. And from there, he went to Chicago, and then he made his way back home.
Interestingly enough, I was running about at a very young age. You think about, I look back on this, and I certainly thought I was some sort of hotshot. But I was running 6 or 7 grocery stores.
What?
Fresh out of college, yeah. And it was a private label deal, so they weren't huge stores, but Aldi Foods, and some people may know.
I'm
about it.
very familiar with
got
Aldi.
it.
Sure.
Right. So,
Well, that's no small feat.
well, it was fun, but basically I had that role. And it was one of the higher paying roles coming out of school, and so I was real proud of it because I had a company car and a pager.
I know the kiddos don't know what a pager is, but they were all the rage, I assure you, back in the late 80s, early 90s. So in this episode, Jose also talks about his faith and how his parents inspired him to be a successful business executive. The latest episode of Pickup Lines premieres at 5:30 and also replays at 7:30 this evening on the free KSAT Plus app. You can also watch it on KSAT.com. Just search Pickup Lines. This is a big one. Do you want to know how your kid's school stacks up this year? The latest Texas Education Agency ratings are in, and some nearby districts aced it. Others fell behind. Stay tuned to find out where your kid's school lands. Also, as we go to break, we're going to give you a look outside. Here's our live cam where the skies appear nice and blue, 95 degrees out there. But, you know, there's so much we have to talk about with this weekend. Our meteorologist, Adam Caskey, is going to walk you through it because this is definitely the weekend where you need to pay attention to those hourly forecasts. We'll be right back after this. Coming up tonight on the 6 o'clock news, did you happen to buy a Powerball ticket? If not, you're really not alone. Despite the giant jackpots, lottery games just aren't as popular as they used to be. And we're going to tell you what's behind that. Plus, the small town of Centerpoint still reeling from the July 4th floods. Our Courtney Friedman spent a day with that community where locals say that they're getting through this because of the kindness of volunteers. It's always nice to know how your kid's school stacks up against the rest, and now you can find out. The Texas Education Agency just released its latest ratings for local school districts, and those scores give some insight into how students did for the 2024 to 2025 school year. Schools get a score and also a letter grade, just like students. To see how your child's school district did, you can scan the QR code on your screen. We posted that full list on KSAT.com. We also wanted to let you know that the districts closest to us that received an A rating are the Basis Charter Schools, Boerne ISD, Fort Sam Houston ISD, and Randolph Field ISD. And Judson, Harlandale, Edgewood, and South San ISDs all got Ds. It's a crazy train weekend. This weekend, the San Antonio Zoo is going to honor Ozzy Osbourne. For every single train ticket that they sell, they'll donate $1 to the Parkinson's Foundation. As you know, Ozzy suffered from Parkinson's. There's going to be rock and roll trivia and Ozzy-themed merchandise giveaways. This is happening both Saturday and Sunday. If you want tickets and more information, you could check out KSAT.com. We have an article written just about this. So if you're hungry now, and it makes sense, it's 5:14, dinner time, right? Mark your calendar for the second annual Texas Eats Food Festival. And this year it's even bigger. It takes place on September 20th from 3 to 7 p.m. at the Boeing Techport Center. You'll be able to enjoy food from 20 top restaurants across Texas and that are also the food is made by Michelin and James Beard Award-winning chefs. Scan that QR code on your screen. It'll direct you to buy tickets right now. A portion of the proceeds will benefit the Community Foundation of the Texas Hill Country. So now I talked about this a few minutes ago. Adam's going to join us now to help us through the rest of the week or the weekend.
Yeah, getting into the weekend. We're starting the weekend off with enhanced rain chances, best rain chances we've had all week. So tonight and into Saturday, scattered showers, tropical downpours, a little bit of lightning and thunder. As for amounts, most of us will get less than an inch. Some of us nothing at all. But there will be localized amounts of 1 to 3 inches under some of the heaviest downpours, especially if a couple of them follow each other. Maybe some localized street flooding within those 1 to 3 inches, but this is going to be progressive. The system is moving. This is not like what we had 4th of July. Sunday, sunny, dry and hot. So a 50-50 weekend where Saturday we have the rain chances, Sunday just sunny and hot. You look at authority radar, nothing out there right now because of those the cooler pools of air that have dropped down from the thunderstorms and stabilized us for now. But you look at the past 6 hours and you see the tropical downpours that moved onshore from the Gulf. That disturbance we'll take a look at in a moment. These downpours had a tough time really sustaining themselves past I-35. A few did, but generally they weakened as they had to move to the west and northwest. And you look at the overall accumulations, mostly under ½ an inch. The bright green indicates a ½ an inch, where some of the streaky showers dropped about a ½ an inch, but most of it was a ½ inch and especially less than that. So let's get into the hours ahead. Futurecast pops up a shower and storm around 7 p.m. I think that's a bit of a stretch, if you ask me. Possibility, not a probability. But what I do think is more accurate as we get into tonight, especially midnight and thereafter, more energy working its way northward with that tropical moisture, kickstarting downpours starting south of San Antonio, 11 p.m. midnight, then potentially even moving overhead, Bexar County. It could be just east, could be just a little bit west. Bottom line, in our area, we'll have these basically areas of downpours moving through overnight tonight, through sunrise tomorrow, and then even periodically throughout the day tomorrow, we could have a few of these pop-up downpours, especially as we get into the afternoon. Not an all-day washout, and not everybody's going to see rain, but I think it's our best opportunity to get it tonight on into tomorrow. And yes, there will be breaks in the action tomorrow where we'll have some sunshine, and then that could destabilize us, and such as here, according to this computer model, 7 o'clock, after some destabilization from the hot sun, we could have a few extra showers and storms pop up in the evening. Here's the main cause of this, and it's an upper level swirl that's over the Gulf, a tropical wave, a disturbance that's heading just west of San Antonio. The center of that upper level disturbance just to the west of town. That's important because the best energy is always on the right side, on the east side of these systems, and that's why we have the enhanced rain chances tonight on into tomorrow. 50% coverage tonight into tomorrow, and then Sunday, no rain. The upper level high noses its way in for a day. Then we get to 20 to 30% chances for the first half of next week, and even next Thursday's showing a lot of promise with a shift in our weather pattern with some scattered showers again possible. Really quickly, Hurricane Erin. The first hurricane of the Atlantic Basin this season, likely to become a major Category 4 hurricane into the weekend as it travels to the northwest, then curves northward, most likely somewhere between Bermuda and the east coast of the U.S. This is not expected to impact the eastern seaboard other than rip currents and higher surf along the beaches. That's it. So notice the rain chances tomorrow. Depends on the time of day, anywhere from 20 to 50%. We'll start the day. You'll probably wake up to some showers and storms or be woken up overnight tonight. And then tomorrow afternoon, a break. Tomorrow evening, more pop-ups. And consequently, temperatures not as hot. 96 the high tomorrow. But Sunday, nothing but sunshine. So we're back to triple digits, 101. And look at that next week, showing some promise.
All right, thank you for that. So Boerne ISD has a lot to celebrate because the TA just gave them an A for the school district. And now we're also going to talk about their football season.
Yeah, Boerne looking to get back to the state tournament for another season. But this year they go in undergoing a bit of a change with their head coach. And SCFC is back home tomorrow. We'll hear from head coach Carlos Llamosa after the break. Boerne football has continued to be one of the area's powerhouses. Most recently, the Greyhounds made it to the state semifinals in their debut season as a Class 5A program. But this year, Boerne will look to its newly promoted defensive coordinator of the last 7 seasons, Brett Sawyer, to lead the charge after the departure of Shea Hendricks this offseason, who is joining the college ranks. It should be a seamless transition for the Greyhounds, as Sawyer has been a key part of Boerne's defensive success.
It's good because he knows what we're doing. He knows how we play. We kind of kept the same concept. He knows us and he knows who to play. He's really good.
It's a good thing is we've been here 7 years. We've known these kids since they were in elementary school. So getting to take over and continue what we've been able to build here has been a lot of fun and dream come true.
Well, the 2024 Class 5A D2 state semifinalists went 11-4 last season and 5-1 in district play. They'll be without quarterback Hake Hendricks as a result of his dad's new job, but Boerne is confident in its experience.
This group of seniors, so they've played 3 years. They've played, they've been a part of a program that's played an extra season in the playoffs, basically. We've gone 6 rounds, 2 rounds, and 5 rounds last year. I mean, that's more than a lot of people play in their entire high school career, and they've been being able to see what that looks like and what that takes. And so trying to get that expectation where it is the expectation's there. Now it's a matter, can we get them there?
Probably big. We probably have a lot of expectations. I think we can do it. We just know what we're doing. Go out there, win every game, knowing that they want to beat us. Everyone wants to beat us because we're under. They want to beat us because we're really good.
We definitely have a target for sure. But we take each game every day. I mean, either we're playing someone good or bad, we take it the same. There's no difference. Each week's a new week.
The team has been perhaps underachieving a bit. Is that maybe how you would summarize it, where it's like a little good, a little bad?
Yeah, I would say so, because a lot of those games we did a lot of good job, good work, and we end up with a result that we're not looking for.
SAFC returns to the pitch tomorrow when Lexington SC visits the Alamo City. The club is kicking off a stretch of 3 important matches between now and next Saturday. We have more on SAFC coming up on KSAT Sports Now at 7 o'clock. Stephania.
All right. Thank you so much for that. And we will be right back after this.
first on scene in Kerr County, rescuing, rappelling down, risking their own lives to save people from the devastating flood. Tomorrow on GMSA, an exclusive interview with the DPS search and rescue team.
Also, don't forget to tune in for GMSA Plus beginning at 7 a.m. Monday through Friday, any way you stream. Here's also a look at what's coming up tonight on ABC Primetime at 7. It's Stand Up to Cancer 2025. It's a fundraiser for cancer research with celebrities, athletes, musicians, and researchers coming together. And then there's 2020 at 8. And then you have me, you have us again for the Night Beat at 10. Now to football. Almost time for the 2025 KSAT Pigskin Classic on Thursday, August 28th at Ferris Stadium. Sotomayor is going to face Clark for the first game of the season. The game is going to be broadcast live on KSAT 12 and streamed live on KSAT Plus, the Big Game Coverage app, and KSAT.com. We'll have coverage throughout the week leading up to the kickoff. Adam.
I noticed the rain chances jump up later on tonight, especially after midnight, scattered to almost numerous downpours popping up, but keep in mind, not everybody is going to get hit. But where you do, there could be some localized 1 to 3 inch amounts, but this is going to be progressive, so the flooding risk is on the low end. Not